नीट एस्पायरेंट्स यूनिट 1 छोटा चैप्टर लगता है, लेकिन यही से बायोलॉजी या तो स्ट्रांग बनती है या फिर पूरी कोलैप्स हो जाती है। प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि सिलेबस छोटा है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि एग्जामिनर इस चैप्टर में थिंकिंग टेस्ट करता है। हर साल यूनिट 1 से एक से दो, मिनिमम दो क्वेश्चन तो आते ही है, लेकिन ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स ये सवाल नॉलेज की वजह से नहीं अटेम्प्ट कर पाते हैं। ठीक है, नहीं दे सकते, कंफ्यूजन होता है। तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो अपने हाथ के जो मार्क्स है वो इजीली निकल जाते हैं। आज मैं आपको डेफिनेशंस नहीं रटवाऊंगा, आज मैं दिखाऊंगा कि एग्जामिनर एमसीक्यू को कैसे ट्विस्ट करता है और टॉपर उन क्वेश्चंस को लॉजिक और एलिमिनेशन से कैसे सॉल्व करता है। अगर आपने ये वीडियो पूरा देखा, द लिविंग वर्ड से आने वाला कोई भी एमसीक्यू आप कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ सॉल्व कर पाओगे, गेस नहीं, क्लियर थिंकिंग के साथ। ठीक है, और अगर कहीं लगे कि एक्सप्लेनेशन थोड़ा फास्ट चला गया तो नीचे कमेंट करो, क्योंकि मैंने पर्पसफुली ये वन लाइन लॉजिक दे रखा है, क्योंकि नीट में क्लियरिटी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है लेंथ में। ठीक है, और हाँ, अगर कोई नीट का फ्रेंड है जो बायोलॉजी एमसीक्यू में अटकता है तो ये वीडियो उसके साथ ज़रूर शेयर करना। ठीक है, यूनिट 1 डाइवर्सिटी इन द लिविंग वर्ल्ड, कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यू है। ठीक है, तो पहला एमसीक्यू है, द मोस्ट compelling reason for developing a universally accepted biological naming system is to A. Reflect evolutionary history, B. Avoid duplication of species, C. Enable unambiguous global communication, और D. Simplify classification hierarchy। तो बताइए फ्रेंड्स, इसमें कौन सा आंसर सही हो सकता है। ठीक है, थोड़ा दिमाग लगाइए। मैं ऐसा अज्यूम कर रहा हूँ कि आपने ये यूनिट पढ़ लिया, पढ़ चुका है। ठीक है, बताइए इसका क्या आंसर हो सकता है। तो इसका आंसर होता है सी। ठीक है, enable unambiguous global communication, because the biggest problem with the local or common name is confusion across region। ठीक है, confusion कर देता है। A universal naming system ensures that same organism is understood worldwide without ambiguity। तो जो एग्जामिनर है वो क्या करता है, ग्लोबल कम्युनिकेशन पे फोकस करता है। एम्बिग्युइटी मतलब सेम नेम डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिज्म। ठीक है, सेकंड क्वेश्चन है, कंटिन्यूस डिस्कवरी ऑफ न्यू ऑर्गेनिजम्स इवन इन previously explored regions suggest that biodiversity is evenly distributed, species boundaries are unclear, existing species estimate are conservative, or evolution has accelerated recently। इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है, बताइए गाइज। तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है सी, ऑप्शन नंबर सी, एग्जिस्टिंग स्पेसीज एस्टिमेट्स आर कंजर्वेटिव। बिकॉज इसमें क्या होता है ना, इफ न्यू ऑर्गेनिज्म आर स्टिल बीइंग डिस्कवर्ड, अगर कोई भी नया ऑर्गेनिज्म डिस्कवर हो रहा है, इट क्लियरली मीन्स दैट आवर करंट एस्टिमेट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी इज इनकम्प्लीट एंड इंडेस्टिमेट। दिस इज द इन्फरेंस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, ये पूछा जा सकता है। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट है, commonly cited figure of approximately 1.8 million species represent total extant species on Earth, organisms discovered using molecular tools, formally described and catalog species, या फिर species confined to terrestrial habitat। ठीक है, इसका क्या हो सकता है, जल्दी बताइए, थोड़ा सोचो, देखो पढ़ा है नहीं पढ़ा है, आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है। ठीक है, तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर सी, फॉर्मली डिस्क्राइब एंड कैटलॉग स्पेसिस। ठीक है, द फिगर 1.7 to 1.8 million refers only to species that have already been discovered and scientifically described, not the total species on the earth। ठीक है, the fourth question is, which situation would most strongly justify the necessity of classification in biology। increase in fossil evidence, regional variation in organism names, complexity arising from vast organism diversity, या फिर evolutionary divergence among species. ठीक है, सोचो, देखो क्या आता है, देखो इसका भी आंसर ऑप्शन नंबर सी आएगा, क्योंकि the sheer number and diversity of organisms make it impossible to study them individually. Classification simplifies study by systematic grouping. That's why complexity arises from vast organism diversity. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, failure to correctly identify an organism before naming would primarily result in taxonomic instability, violation of evolutionary principle, ecological misinterpretation, or loss of genetic information. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन देखिए एक बार, क्या है? Failure to correctly identify an organisms before naming would primarily result in, तो इसका आंसर आएगा taxonomic instability. Because naming an organism without proper identification leads to taxonomic confusion and instability. समझ गए? जहाँ पे सेम ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो रहता है उनके नेम्स अलग अलग हो सकता है. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 6, two organisms sharing identical local names in different regions but representing different species highlights a limitation of taxonomy, classification, vernacular nomenclature or systematics. इसका क्या है सकता है आंसर? इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर सी, वर्नाकुलर नॉमेनक्लेचर. अब वर्नाकुलर नॉमेनक्लेचर क्या है? इट डिफर्स फ्रॉम पीपल टू, सॉरी, इट डिफर्स प्लेस टू प्लेस. मतलब द सेम नेम में रिप्रेजेंट डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिज्म इन डिफरेंट रीजन, कॉजिंग कंफ्यूजन. इसलिए वर्नाकुलर नॉमेनक्लेचर रहता है अपने लोकल नेम्स में. ठीक है, which feature of scientific names ensure their independence from regional language and culture? Use of italics, Latinization, author citation, or binomial structure. So इसका आंसर आता है Latinization. मतलब Latin is a dead language and does not change over time. This ensures stability and universality of scientific names. जो अभी हम बात करते हैं ना, किसी भी साइंटिस्ट का नाम लैटिन में यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, तो ऑप्शन नंबर बी आता है इसका. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट, biologist writes the name of species as Magnifera indica. This form is incorrect because both words should be capitalized, the genus name should be lowercase, the species epithet must begin with a lowercase letter, or the author name is missing. सोचिए इसका क्या आंसर आ सकता है. इसका करेक्ट ऑप्शन है ऑप्शन नंबर सी, द स्पेसिफिक epithet must begin with lowercase letter. ठीक है, जो बायनोमियल नोमेनक्लेचर रहता है ना, ठीक है, तो जीनस स्टार्ट विथ कैपिटल लेटर एंड स्पेसिस epithet must start with small letter. That's why indica written with a capital letter violates the rule. ठीक है, next question, the addition of abbreviated author name after a species epithet primarily serves to indicate evolutionary lineage, credit the first valid description, distinguish between subspecies, denote geographical origin. इसका क्या आएगा आंसर? So the answer will be option number B, credit the first valid description. Okay, the author name indicates who first validly described the species, not the discovered it or named casually. ठीक है, मतलब जो ऑथर नेम रहता है ना, इंडिकेट करता है वो फर्स्टली वैलिड रहता है जो कि स्पेसिस को डिस्क्राइब करता है, ठीक है, नॉट हु डिस्कवर्ड इट। ठीक है, इसलिए ऑप्शन नंबर बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which statement best differentiate identification from nomenclature? Identification assign rank, nomenclature assign name. Identification recognize the organism, nomenclature label it. Identification involves evolution, nomenclature involves morphology. या फिर identification is optional, nomenclature is mandatory। क्या आ सकता है इसका? Think about it. Which statement best differentiate identification from nomenclature? What could be the answer, guys? Think. So the correct option is answer option number B. Okay. Identification recognize an organism, nomenclature labels it. ठीक है. Identification means recognizing the organisms correctly. इतना तो पता है सबको. While nomenclature is assigning the scientific name. Identification always precedes naming. Okay. Next question, a taxonomic study incorporating cellular organization, developmental pattern, and ecological role reflects classical taxonomy, artificial classification, modern taxonomic approach या फिर phonetic classification। इसका क्या आएगा आंसर? ठीक है, इसका भी ऑप्शन नंबर सी आएगा, मॉडर्न टैक्सोनॉमिक अप्रोच, because modern taxonomic consider as morphology, cell structure, development, ecological information, ठीक है, not just visible character। Next, the term taxon can be correctly applied to only species level groups, any rank within the classification hierarchy, evolutionary lineage alone, या फिर organisms with identical morphology। क्या आ सकता है? The term taxon can be correctly applied to which of the following? Tell me. Think about it. So the correct option is option number B, any rank within the classification hierarchy। मतलब taxon refers to any category at any level of classification। मतलब species हो सकता है, genus हो सकता है, family हो सकती है या फिर kingdom हो सकता है, ठीक है। Next, which of the following correctly represent a logical progression from narrower to broader grouping? Family, genus, species, species, genus, family, order, family, species, genus, species, order। ठीक है, तो करेक्ट प्रोग्रेशन कौन सा है नैरो टू ब्रॉडर पे? एक बार देख लो और बताओ। तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, स्पेसिस टू जीनियस, जीनस टू फैमिली। ठीक है, next question, two organisms placed within the same genus but different species are expected to exhibit identical morphology, interbreed freely, share a common evolutionary origin, or belong to different families। ठीक है, इसका बताओ क्या आ सकता है? Two organisms placed within the same genus, but different species are expected to. So answer would be option number C, share a common evolutionary origin. Okay, organisms of the same genus share a common evolutionary origin but are different species due to distinct characteristics। Okay, next question, which interference is valid regarding higher taxonomic categories? They share maximum common characteristic, they represent closely related organisms, they are based on aggregation of lower taxa, they are easiest to classify। Okay, क्वेश्चन दिख रहा है? ये देखो क्वेश्चन, which inference is valid regarding higher taxonomic categories? Tell me, tell me the answers. So option will be C. They are based on aggregation of lower taxa because the higher taxonomic categories are formed by grouping related lower taxa together. So it means it result in broader but less precise classification. Okay. Option number option number C is the correct answer. Next question. Question number 16. Taxonomic hierarchy in which similarity decreases with ascending rank implies that classification become more precise, evolutionary relationship become clearer, broader categories include greater diversity, species boundaries overlap. बताओ guys. Classic, yeah, taxonomic hierarchy in which similarity decreases with ascending rank implies that. चलो जल्दी सॉल्व करो. So option number C, broader categories include greater diversity is the correct options because as we move upward in hierarchy, okay, as we move upward in hierarchies, similarity decreases and diversity increases. Everyone know about it. Kingdom shows the maximum diversity. Okay. Next, the biological significance of species as a taxonomic category lies in its ecological dominance, morphological uniformity, fundamental unit of classification, or evolutionary permanence. What will be the correct answer, guys? The biological significance of species as taxonomic category lies in its option number C, fundamental unit of classification. Okay, this will be the answer because species is the basic and most important unit of classification and it represents organisms with maximum similarity. Okay, next, Panthera leo and Panthera tigris are placed under the same genus primarily because they occupy similar habitat, share several fundamental characters, belongs to the same family, or show identical behavior. What will be the answer? Think about it. So option number B, share several fundamental characters is the correct answer because lion and tiger are placed in the same genus because of fundamental structure similarities, not habitat or behavior. Okay. Next question. Which criterion is the most critical in distinguishing closely related species within the genus? Habitat preference, ecological niche, distinct morphological differences, or geographic distribution? Tell me, guys, which will be the correct answer? So, option number C, distinct morphological differences is the correct answer because closely related species are distinguished mainly by consistent morphological differences, not habitat or population size. Okay. Next question. The grouping of Solanum, Petania, and Dhatura under one family indicates identical species, close evolutionary relationship at genus level, shared reproductive and vegetative traits, or identical ecological roles. Tell me the correct answer, guys. So the correct option is option number C, shared reproductive and vegetative traits. Okay, because family classification is based on both vegetative and reproductive characteristics, giving more reliable grouping. Okay, Next question. Compared to genus and species, family as a taxonomic category shows greater number of shared characters, fewer similarities among members, identical morphological features, or narrower classification ranges. Family as a taxonomic category shows. What will the answer, guys? So the answer is option number B, fewer similarities among the members, because as a family is broader than a genus. So organisms share fewer similarities compared to the genus or species. Next, an order is best described as a collection of closely related species, a group of similar genera, assemblage of related families, or subdivision of class. What will the answer? ऑर्डर को कैसे डिस्क्राइब किया जाता है? So option number C is the correct answer, an assemblage of related families. Okay, an order is formed by grouping related families together. This is the standard hierarchy concept. Everybody knows about it. Next, placement of carnivora within Mammalia reflects similarity based mainly on feeding habit alone, reproductive strategy, aggregation of multiple shared characteristics, or body size. What will be the answer, guys? So the answer will be the mm, option number C, aggregation of multiple shared characteristics, because order are included in class based on aggregation of multiple shared characteristics, not a single features. Okay. Next, taxonomic hierarchy. The rank equivalent to phylum in plant is class, order, division, kingdom. Okay. Simple question. So the answer will be the division, because in plants taxonomic rank equivalent to phylum animals is called as division. Okay. Next question. Increasing difficulty in determining relationship at higher taxonomic ranks is due to lack of fossil evidence, fewer common definition characters, absence of molecular data, or overlapping species boundaries. Tell me guys, which will be the answers? कौन सा आंसर आ सकता है? रिलेशनशिप एट हायर टैक्सोनॉमिक रैंक्स किस वजह से हो सकता है? तो इसका ऑप्शन है option number B, fewer common defining characteristic. Okay, at higher taxonomic rank, organisms share fewer defining characteristic. Okay, making relationship determination more difficult. That's why option number B is correct answer. Fewer common defining characteristic. Next, the taxonomic category that includes organisms sharing the maximum number of common characters is family, genus, species, order. Taxonomic category that includes organisms sharing the maximum number of common characters is family, genus, species, order. So the correct answer will be the option number C, species. Species show maximum number of shared characters, making it more specific category. Okay. Next question. Which statement best explains why species is considered the most precise taxonomic category? It includes organisms with common habitat. It is based on maximum morphological similarity. It reflects maximum evolutionary divergence. It represents a single population. कौन सा आंसर सही होगा इसका गाइस? तो इसका आंसर आएगा इट इज बेस्ड ऑन मैक्सिमम मॉर्फोलॉजिकल सिमिलरिटी, ऑप्शन नंबर बी, बिकॉज स्पेसिस इज प्रिसाइज because it is based on maximum morphological similarity among the organisms. Okay, next question. Human beings are placed in genus Homo primarily because they share ecological niche, they show close anatomical similarities, they belong to the class Mammalia, or they exhibit complex behavior. What will be the correct answer, guys? So the correct answer will be that they show close anatomical similarities. Okay, because humans are placed in genus Homo due to close anatomical and structural similarities, not behavior. Okay, next. Which taxonomic rank would include organisms differing greatly in structure but sharing a basic body plan? Species, genus, family, phylum. What will be the correct answer, guys? So the correct answer will be the option number D, phylum. Phylum includes organisms that differ widely but share a basic body plan, such as presence of notochord. Easy, both easy. Okay, next question. The inclusion of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals under a single phylum is based on. Okay, question repeat करता हूँ. The inclusion of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals, all these under a single phylum, is based on habitat similarity, reproductive mode, presence of fundamental structural features, or mode of nutrition. Which will be the correct answer, guys? So option number C, presence of fundamental structural features, is the answer, because all chordates are grouped together due to fundamental structural features, not habitat or reproduction. Okay. अगर हाँ, अगर आपको ये एमसीक्यू सोचने का नया तरीका दे रहा है, तो इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो, क्योंकि इसी एग्जामिनर माइंडसेट वाली वीडियोस यहाँ पे मिलेगी. अगर किसी को कोई डाउट होगा तो नीचे कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर लिखना. ठीक है. अगर किसी को लग रहा है कि ये एक्सप्लेनेशन कम पड़ रहा है, तो भी मतलब आप नीचे कमेंट कर सकते हो. मैं पर्सनली आपको वहाँ पे एक्सप्लेनेशन शेयर कर दूंगा, नहीं तो ये वीडियो बहुत लंबी चलेगी. ठीक है. ये इसी वजह से बना रहा हूँ क्योंकि रिवीजन जल्दी हो जाए और जो क्वेश्चन फ्रेम है वो आपको समझ में आ जाए. एग्जामिनर किस टाइप का क्वेश्चन बना सकता है, बिकॉज अभी इज कॉल्ड एज विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज, ऐसा नहीं पूछ रहा, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम हो रहे हैं, तो अपने को भी उस हिसाब से तैयारी करना चाहिए. ठीक है. इसलिए मैं जल्दी से जल्दी ये ले रहा हूँ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग करेक्टली रिप्रेजेंट इंक्रीजिंग कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ द क्लासिफिकेशन? Kingdom to phylum, phylum to class, species to genus, genus to family, या फिर family to genus, genus to species, या option number D, order to class, class to phylum. Which of the following correctly represent increasing complexity of classification? बताइए guys, क्या आंसर आ सकता है? So the answer will be option number B, species to genus, genus to family. Okay. Classification complexity increases as we move from species to higher categories. Okay. Next question. Two organisms placed in different families but the same order would share more characters than organisms of same genus, share fewer characters than organisms of same family, or be evolutionary unrelated, या फिर belongs to different classes. Two organisms placed in different families but the same order would. क्या हो सकता है आंसर इसका? सोचो सोचो सोचो. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आप कभी मे भी शायद कभी देखे होंगे. अगर देखे होंगे तो सही जा रहे हो, आपकी प्रिपरेशन अच्छी जा रही है. अगर नहीं देखे तो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आपको प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए. तो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर बी, they would share fewer characters than organisms of same family. Okay, because organisms in different families but same order share fewer similarities than organisms of the same family. Okay. Next question. Which taxonomic category reflects the highest degree of evolutionary divergence among its members? Species, genus, family, kingdom. What will be the answer, guys? The answer will be kingdom. Because kingdom includes maximum diversity and evolutionary divergence among organisms. Okay. Next question. The scientific name Homo sapiens indicates that sapiens is a genus, Homo is a species, sapiens is a specific epithet, or both words represent species. What will be the answer, guys? Yes, option number C. Sapiens is a specific epithet is the correct answer. Okay, because in Homo sapiens, sapiens is the specific epithet, not the genus. Next, if two organisms belong to the same family but different genera, they are expected to be morphological identical, to share their basic structural state, to interpret naturally, or to belong to different orders. What will you answer, guys? Option number B is the correct answer. To share basic structural traits because different different genera within the same family share basic structural similarities but are not identical. Okay, that's right. Next question. Which criterion becomes progressively less reliable while moving from lower to higher taxonomic ranks? Genetic similarity, morphological resemblance, evolutionary relationship, or ecological diversity. Which criterion becomes progressively less reliable while moving from lower to higher taxonomic rank? What will the answer, guys? Answer will be morphological resemblance because morphological resemblance become less reliable at higher taxonomic level due to diversity. Next question. The primary basis for placing plant families into order is similarly in vegetative characters alone, reproductive characters alone, or flora and structural characters collectively, या फिर habitat preference. What will be the answer, guys? Option number C is the correct answer. Floral and structural characters collectively. Okay, because orders in plants are grouped mainly based on overall floral and structural characteristics. Okay, next question. A taxonomist grouping organisms by considering internal structure, development, and ecological role is practicing artificial classification, natural classification, numerical taxonomy, या फिर classics only. What will the answer, guys? So answer will be natural classification because natural classification considers multiple characters and evolutionary relationship unlike artificial system. Next question. Which of the following would be the most useful in resolving ambiguity between two close related species? Habitat data, morphological differences, order level characters, or या फिर family level traits? What will be the answer, guys? So answer will be option number B, morphological differences, because morphological differences are the most reliable tools to distinguish closely related species. Okay. Next question. The use of two-word naming system is advantageous mainly because it reflects habitat and behavior, prevents misidentification across region, या फिर shows uh, evolutionary advancement, या फिर indicates taxonomic hierarchy completely. What will the answer, guys? Yes, option number B is the correct answer. Prevent misidentification across region. Okay. The two-word naming system and avoid confusion and ensures universal identification of organisms. Next question. If classification were attempted without standard nomenclature, the major difficulty would be incorrect grouping, communication failure among biologists, absence of hierarchy, या फिर evolutionary misinterpretation. Classification were attempted without standard nomenclature, the major difficulty, कौन सी difficulty ज़्यादा आएगी? Yes, communication failure among biologists. Okay, because without standard nomenclature, communication among scientifics would be fail, or even if classification exists, it will be fail. Okay. Next question. The category genus is the best defined as a group of species that are morphologically identical, that are occupy the same habitat, they show fundamental structural similarities, या फिर belong to the same order. What will be the answer, guys? Yes, option number C. Show fundamental structural similarities is the correct answer because genus includes species that share fundamental structural similarities, not just habitat or behavior. Normal है सबको पता है. Which situation best supports the concept of taxonomic hierarchy? Wheat and rice placed together, lion and tiger sharing the same genus, dog and cat placed in different families, या all of the above. बताइए कौन सा आंसर सही रहेगा? यस, इसका आंसर है option number D, all of the above, because all given example demonstrate the hierarchical natures and yes, biological classification का जो भी ये है hierarchical nature है ना वो demonstrate कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. Next question. Compared to species, higher tags are found mainly by increasing precision, increasing number of defining characters, aggregation of related lower taxa, या फिर reducing evolutionary time. What will the answer, guys? Yes, option number C, aggregation of related lower taxa. Because higher tags are formed by aggregating related lower taxa, making them broader categories. Okay. Next, which conclusion can be drawn from the fact that similarity decreases from species to kingdom? Evolutionary relationships are linear, classification becomes more complex, lower tags are artificial, higher tags are unstable. What will the answer, guys? Yes, option number B, classification become more complex because as similarity decreases upward, classification become more complex at higher levels. Okay. Next question. The correct taxonomic placement required prior knowledge of habitat only, behavior only, multiple biological characters, या फिर geographic distribution only. What will the answer, guys? Yes, option number C is the correct. Multiple biological characteristics because uh, correct classification requires multiple biological characters, not a single trait. Okay. Next question. The term biological hierarchy is taxonomy refers to ranking based on size, sequential arrangement of taxonomic categories, evolutionary ladders, या फिर food chain order. What will the answer, guys? Think about it. Is ये? Yes, option number B is correct answer. Sequential arrangement of taxonomic categories. Because if you are looking in biological hierarchy, it means ordered arrangement of taxonomic categories. Okay, not size or food chains. Okay. Next, which of the following pairs is most closely related taxonomically? Dogs and cats, lions and tiger, wheat and mango, man and housefly. What will be the correct answer, guys? Yes, option number B is correct. Lion and tiger. Lion and tiger are most closely related because they belong to same genus. Okay. Next, increasing difficulty in classification at higher ranks primarily arises due to absence of fossils, reduced number of shared characters, limited sample size, या फिर rapid evolution. What will the answer, guys? Yes, reduced number of shared characteristics. At higher ranks, organisms share fewer characters, making classification more difficult. Okay. Next, the fundamental aim of taxonomic classification is To memorize organisms names, study ecology, reveal nature relationship among organisms, या फिर स्पेस evolutionary history only. What will the answer, guys? फंडामेंटल एम क्या है टैक्सोनॉमिक क्लासिफिकेशन का? Yes, to reveal natural relationship among the organisms. Because the ultimate aim of classification is to understand natural and evolutionary relationship among the organisms. Okay, तो यहाँ पे हम रुकेंगे. बाकी के 50 क्वेश्चन नेक्स्ट वीडियो में अपन ये करेंगे, डिस्कस करेंगे. अगर किसी को कुछ डाउट हो तो कमेंट बॉक्स में डेफिनेटली कमेंट कीजिए, और ये आप ये जो वीडियो है अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए. ओके, थैंक यू गाइस.